Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Pre-K Sunday School. It's great to be back with you both in person and online for Pre-K Sunday School. I want to wish you all a happy Halloween today. As you can see, I am dressed up in my costume. I'm a scarecrow, the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. So maybe I should greet you with, "If I only had a brain." Well, I would love to see pictures of your costumes for Halloween. I heard that some of you are going to be Clifford the big red dog, and somebody else was talking about being a superhero, and someone else was talking about being a pumpkin. They all sound really cool. So if you want to send me a picture of your Halloween costume, I'd love to see you dressed up too. Today we continue our story with Moses and the Israelites. Maybe let's review what's happened so far. You remember Moses was born, and it wasn't a very safe time for little babies in the Israelite tribe. So Moses' mom put him in a basket and sent him down the river, where Pharaoh's daughter found him and adopted him and raised him as her son. Moses grew up in the court of Pharaoh, but then when he saw an Egyptian not treating an Israelite very well, he stood up to him and ended up committing a crime, which put him on the run. And he ran away from Egypt, and he ran to the desert where he lived there and became a shepherd. And you remember there in the desert, God appeared to Moses at a burning bush. And God called Moses to go back to Egypt to set God's people free. Well, then you remember Moses did that, and his brother Aaron came with him, and they pleaded with Pharaoh. They demanded that Pharaoh set God's people free. Pharaoh didn't want to do it. But after much pleading and plagues, finally Pharaoh set God's people free. And then you remember last week, they fled. They fled Egypt. And just about the time they got to the Red Sea, Pharaoh changed his mind, and Pharaoh's army came after them. But God worked with Moses, and God divided the Red Sea. And the people, you remember, walked across to the other side. And then the waters closed, separating them and Egypt. Well, our story today picks up there. The people are wandering in the wilderness. They are tired. They are hungry. And they are complaining to Moses. Well, with that, let's head on in for our story. Manna, quail, and water. God loved the Israelites and their leader Moses. God promised to bring the people to a place where they could build homes and live happily. They had never lived outside Egypt before, and they were afraid. But God went with them as they walked long and far to the place God promised. Traveling was hard and tiring. Along the way, the people became hungry. They complained to Moses. "I'm so hungry," one boy cried. "I wish we could go back to Egypt," whined a little girl. "At least we had food to eat there." Her stomach growled. The people missed their dinners of meat and bread. The Israelites didn't know that God heard them. That evening, something strange happened. Tiny birds called quails appeared everywhere. God had sent quails so that people could eat meat. The next morning, the ground glistened with fresh dew. Even after the sun dried up the dew, there was still something covering the ground. It looked like bread had rained from heaven. It was manna. The manna looked like tiny seeds and tasted like bread. The people ate and ate. Every day, God sent manna and quail so that the people had food to eat. The Israelites kept traveling toward the place God promised. After a while, they ran out of water. Even though God had given them food when they were hungry, the people still complained. "My mouth feels dry like a desert," sobbed a little child. The people were thirsty. This time, God told Moses to hit a rock with his staff. When Moses did, water gushed out of the rock. The people had more than enough to drink. God gave food and water to the Israelites every day. God took care of the people, just like God promised. And that's our story. Well, thanks for joining us for another pre-K Sunday School. In today's story, God provided blessings, didn't God, to the people? Provided manna and quail and water. God provides blessings to all of us every day. And God provides enough for everyone. But the problem in our world is that people don't share, do they? People are greedy and they take more than they need and they waste it. And then there's not enough for everyone. God's message to us today is to look for the blessings all around us and to share, work together to share with one another so that everyone gets enough. Well, know that we love you and we're wishing you all a wonderful Halloween. See you next time.